Let's do a reading for what you need to know today, June 24th. So let's see. What do you need to know today? Whoa, okay, interesting. We got the Lovers. Let me cover them up because they're naked. How dare they? We have the Lovers, but then another card flipped and it's upside down, but I do feel like I need to flip it up. Oh, okay. We have the Five of Pentacles, but in reverse. I don't think this is a love reading. I do think there is love involved. I don't think it necessarily has to be with another person, but maybe that's just me trying not to get your hopes up. I do think you're coming out of a dry period. I think you're coming out of a dry period when it comes to love. Maybe it's been quite some time since you've been with anybody, or honestly, even yourself. Maybe you have not been given yourself enough self-love. And now that you have, things are starting to shift. You're starting to see a change, not just within yourself, but also the outside. And quite honestly, something that I'm like getting to is that you're starting to notice that you were always loved. I think you were always someone who didn't think they deserved love, or you were someone who thought that they weren't loved enough. And I think lately there's been a lot of memories that have been resurfacing, coming back into you, where you're like, wait a minute, I was loved. I just had this perception that I wasn't. And this could be because you maybe had a really rough childhood growing up. Maybe, you grew up in an unstable home, or maybe you were bullied. I think there's actually bullying was something that was big, especially in school, from the ages, or not ages, I want to say for grades 1st to 5th grade. 1st grade to 5th grade were very, very prominent for you, and that's where you felt you were bullied a lot. So because your friends in school did not love you, they did not praise you, they made fun of you, friends. They made fun of you. You were kind of like the last thought of things. You immediately thought that everybody else was on the same boat. Even your parents who did love you, you thought that they didn't, because the way that your friends treated you, because you were like, how can kids treat kids like in a very mean way, right? So I think you're finally understanding that the perception that you have that your whole life that you weren't loved was false. You're understanding that you were loved. It was you who was in the way of yourself, essentially. And I think that that glass, if you will, is coming off, and you're finally understanding, I have been loved. It was just me who was in the way. Let's see what else. This is higher awareness. Again, you're understanding that it was you who had this perception, and it wasn't that people didn't love you. You're very much loved. I would tell you that much. You're someone who's very loved. You just had this perception that you weren't. It happens. Trauma. Bullying can do a lot to a kid. I was bullied when I was a kid. I get it. And you grow up to be someone who's very, you go into your cocoon. You go into your shell of things. You don't want to be your true self, because whenever you presented your true self, people would make fun of your true self. So it was really hard for you to step into your authenticity. And I think now you are I think you're just finally, you're letting out that authenticity. But you have higher awareness of the situation, and you're understanding that you are very much loved. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more cards. For once. This is celebration. And I want to call you my love for some reason. I never call anybody that but my cat. But my love, you're going to be celebrated. You're celebrating yourself. You don't need anybody to celebrate you outside of you. You know that you can fulfill that on your own, but allow others to celebrate you. Allow others to wrap you up in their embrace, allow others to love down on you. You don't have to be afraid of being loved anymore, because it's not that it's fake, it's real, it's true. And for a long time, you thought people were being fake about it, but this is what's coming in for you. The friendships, your tribe, this is real love, like friendship love, right? Not just like love with somebody else. But hey, this also represents marriage. I'm not saying you're gonna get married, but it could just be a higher commitment to someone who's committed to you and what you have to offer. Okay, one last card. Judgment. This is not like you're getting judged or anything. This can be this is a celebration of yourself too. Like, just look at them, how they're kind of like praising. I just feel like this is, in a way, this is you, and you connecting with your higher self. You're being more in tune with your higher self, and these are all past versions of you that are celebrating, that are like, yes, like everything that you've gone through, everything that you have experienced, everything that you have felt, whether it was happiness, hardship, loss, love, whatever it is that you've experienced, it was all worth it to come back to oneself. It was all worth it to come back to yourself and to see yourself as this higher being, as this higher person, that you're more than capable of holding this energy of authenticity that you have, and for people to love this authentic energy that you exude, essentially. I feel called to pull from the top. Justice. Skills are balancing. I think for a long time you felt like the life that you've been living was a result of karma. And it's not, because I can get that you did not have bad intentions. And I think a lot of people confuse karma with like, oh, you did something bad. And like something bad, say like you stole a piece of gum, and that you're going to get karma for stealing a piece of gum. But I think, for me at least, karma is the intention that you have. Did you have any malicious intentions at all? Right? Maybe no, you didn't. Maybe when you stole that piece of gum, you didn't know any better. Right? So that's not necessarily karma. I think karma is the intention that you put out there, the emotion that you're leading your action with. So if you did something to be mean to someone, if you did something to intentionally hurt someone, that's when you're going to receive your karma at some point in your life. So I think you have felt that you've been experiencing karma, but what this is really gonna say is that the people that treated you with malicious intent, because the bullies that treated you with malicious intent, even though they were kids, that's gonna catch up to them when they're adults. And I think the catch up moment is coming now. So you're just gonna see how people around you, or people like at a distance that bullied you or hurt you, that had a malicious intent to put you down and to put down your light, you may start to see how things start to not work out for them as much. Now, this does not mean for you to be happy about it and to celebrate that. It just means that you understand what's happening. You understand that you did not step into this world with malicious intent, and you're observing those around you get the karma they deserve. But also, just send them grace. You don't have to forgive them. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to forgive them, but do send them grace, because dealing with karma is not fun. So anyway, I like this reading for you today. I like this. But anyway, I hope this helps.